The Harvard Mission Reports on Armenia 1919 are held in the U.S. Department of State archives. The Paris Peace Conference discussed Ottoman politics and a potential U.S. mandate for Western Armenia. U.S. President Woodrow Wilson supported providing troops and money for a new multi-ethnic unit, pending Senate approval. Wilson sent a military mission, led by Major General James Harbord, to assess the feasibility and needs of American mandates. Herbert C. Hoover suggested separating relief from political matters, proposing Colonel William N. Haskell as the Allied representative. In June 1919, Wilson envisioned his nominee advising the local government on administration, repatriation, and relief in both eastern and western Armenia. The Supreme Council narrowed this plan to appoint a commissioner exclusively for the Republic of Armenia. Haskell was appointed as Commissioner for Relief Matters, confined by the Republic's borders. Harbord was sent on an investigation trip from Adana to Batum. Harbord's mission focused on preventing massacres and reporting on administrative, military, and economic features, as well as refugees. Before leaving, Harbord met with Armenian generals and delegation chairmen, who requested 30,000 foreign troops for 3 years' protection. Documents indicated a threat of Turkish aggression against the Republic of Armenia. In August 1919, the widespread Turco-Tatar movement in the Arax Valley, led by Colonel Kazim Karabekir, was reported. This movement was a political undertaking coordinated from Baku and Erzurum. Turkish units and agitators were active in the Transcaucasia, threatening the Republic of Armenia and establishing ties with Bolsheviks. Armenian officials reported Turkish officers' activities violated the Mudros Armistice. British General G. Bridges shared this concern. Turks, Persians, Georgians, and Tatars were planning to attack Armenia as the British withdrew. The Harbord mission arrived when Armenia desperately needed new contingents and ammunition. Western politicians distinguished the Armenian highland from Asia Minor, perceiving Armenia as the highland with Western Armenian provinces' political borders. The ethnological map by the Peace Conference and a February 1919 memorandum defined Armenia's borders without controversy from the Armenian delegations. Historically, the name Azerbaijan referred to the Iranian region of Atropatene. The Eastern Transcaucasian namesake, with its center in Baku, was artificially created. Both President Wilson and the Harbord mission preferred that the Transcaucasian border disputes be settled by the republics or the Paris Peace Conference. Americans regulated border issues in Nakhichevan, which was not welcomed by local bands. On September 28, 1919, a gang led by Chief Shamil attacked the American auto caravan near Kobe, taking travelers prisoner. Supported by an Armenian detachment, Harbord negotiated the release of his team. Kobe, an Armenian town near Yerevan, had been seized and destroyed 10 days earlier by brigands, with inhabitants killed or expelled. In his October 6 report, General Harbord acknowledged the cooperation of Turkish officers and Tatar bands in Nakhichevan and Shirur. These Turco-Tatar forces sought to depopulate the area to build an all-Muslim railroad to Turkey. Nakhichevan was recognized as under Armenian Republic sovereignty by the British command, Harbord and Haskell. Haskell appointed an American allied governor and proposed a neutral zone, which Baku acceded to. The Harbord mission suggested settling the Nakhichevan controversy in Paris. Harbord was overly optimistic about the safety of Armenians in the Ottoman Empire and Transcaucasia, contradicting his lieutenant's memorandum. Lieutenant Harutun Kachadorian noted that Armenians did not dare to speak freely in the presence of Turkish officials. Armenians were openly threatened by armed Kemalists, and property return was slow. Orphans and girls remained in harems. American specialists recommended a common mandate over Turkey in Europe, Anatolia, Western and Eastern Armenia, and the entire Transcaucasia. W.B. Poland believed this was the only way to save the Armenian people from new massacres. In Yerevan, General Harbord urged the Prime Minister to strengthen the statehood and conclude peace with the Kemalist government. Prime Minister Katijian rejected this advice, believing their problem would be settled in Paris. Katijian correctly deduced that the U.S. sought a single mandate for a vast area, including the Transcaucasian republics. The U.S. was especially interested in the railway communication network from Yerevan to Cilicia. Harbord noted that Azerbaijan was the least prepared of the three republics for political independence and overestimated its significance. The mission collected 53 volumes of reports and memoranda from diplomats, missionaries, and government leaders. The final report was kept out of Congress's reach for half a year, leading to suspicion about its findings on the mandate. Ultimately, the project was deemed too expensive and hardly feasible. The mission, perhaps, aimed to buy time. Armenian leaders did not seek alternatives during this delay. The collection includes first-hand accounts from mission members, including brigadier generals and a lieutenant. Their essays are preserved in the U.S. and Armenian National Archives. Document 1. Acting Secretary of State F. poked telegrams about the recommendation by Hoover and Morgenthau to separate temporary relief from repatriation issues. Colonel William N. Haskell was proposed as temporary commissioner. The recommendation also supported sending a mission headed by General Harbord to investigate the broader questions of repatriation, necessary forces, funds, and general economic and political problems for the new Armenian state. Document 2. President Wilson approved the recommendation to send the investigation mission to Armenia, headed by General Harbord. Document 3. Heads of the United Armenia delegation warned the Paris Peace Conference of a massive Turco-Tartar movement against the Armenian Republic, organized by Azerbaijan and Turkey, and led by Colonel Kazım Bey. Turkish regular army units were in Olty and Sarıkamış, violating the armistice. The Young Turks, now Kemalists, were actively attempting to hinder an independent Armenia. The Allied withdrawal was seen as fatal to Armenia. Document 4. General Peyton C. March ordered General Harbord to proceed with the mission of investigation in Armenia, consulting with the American mission in Paris. Harbord was authorized to choose his staff from the American Expeditionary Force.